We are in beautiful Hammonds Plains, Nova Scotia with the lovely Emily Trigano for Halifax Seed. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. I love this sunshine, and I know that the plants love it too.
Oh, you know what? It's about time, right? The plants are definitely looking for a little bit of sun, a little bit of heat, and that will really help get some growing going.
Excellent. Speaking of growing, what are we going to focus on today?
You know what? I finally decided that maybe the weather is just right for my vegetable garden.
Okay.
So this is the time of year that I like to see what I want to plant as a transplant, what I want to plant as a seed, what is inside that I need to very carefully over the span of about a week bring inside and outside to harden them off properly so they're prepared to face the elements of what maritime weather likes to throw at us. And then I go from there. So, you know, when it comes to planting, I like to ensure I have the right soil base. So I've amended my soil bed in this raised bed here. I've removed all the weeds because thankfully the camera can't get this, but if you can see the bed on this side, it is an atrocity.
It just makes you human, Emily.
Right? And then I start planting. So I do like to organize my bed. So if I planted tomatoes in this bed last year, I'm not going to plant them in this bed.
Oh, interesting. Why is that?
So over time, every vegetable is going to absorb the nutrients that it really wants in order to grow properly. Okay. So you want to make sure you're rotating your crops through your garden beds as best you can. Sometimes that's not possible, but I try to do this as much as I can. And then I also like to figure out what is going to require a lot of sun. So my sun-loving plants, I like to put out here right in the middle of the garden, where my more shade-loving plants like peas, greens, stuff like that, are going to be planted behind me because they will get most of the shade.
Okay, and they'll grow in the shade anyway. Yeah. Now, I hear you've got some like tomato growing hack.
If you're growing tomatoes, you want to plant them as deep as possible and deeper than you would ever think you would put a tomato in the ground. Here's a beautiful, this is Tomato Fantastico.
Yes.
This variety is delicious. It's a nice kind of grape cherry sized tomato. So you can see how tall the transplant already is.
Right.
When I plant this, I'm going to plant it this deep. The deeper you can plant a tomato plant, the stronger, healthier, and more productive it's going to be.
Okay. And you probably need to give them a little bit of room to grow once they do start kind of climbing. Is that true or no?
Absolutely. So tomatoes, there's going to be indeterminate and determinate. So indeterminate are going to grow up nice and tall and they're going to require staking or tomato cages. Determinate are going to stay short and they're going to be really great inside a container or even in the garden bed. So a few things to watch out for is how big a plant is going to be. So if it's a zucchini, is it going to be really vining and it's going to require a little bit more space? So make sure you have that much space available in your garden. And you're also going to want to make sure you've fertilized and water everything in. With all this heat, it seems like we're getting a lot of rain. Right. We're actually not. So always make sure you're checking the moisture in your garden bed.
Always really good advice. Thanks, Emily.
Thank you.
We'll see you next week.
See you then.